I'm sitting here and I'm reading Stories That Stick. And this is a really good book, y'all. If you haven't read it, read it. I'm by heart am a writer. I love to write. My shit doesn't always make sense to even me, but I love to write. And in reading these stories, it makes me think about what I do. There's a part in the story or in this book where she tells her story of 6th grade and how she's holding on to the earth. And that touched me so much. If y'all see me crying, don't pay it no mind. I'm a big ass crybaby. But when I think about that, I think about how this impacts me for what I do in working with people in their personal brands. My husband, he's funny. He's my biggest supporter. And he told me the other day when I got this new client, we just started working together a couple of weeks ago. And he said, well, baby, what does he do? And I said, baby, he doesn't even have a business. And his whole thing is like, how fucking bad are you that you got somebody to hire you that doesn't even have a business? I don't know. It's just a thing. And it's something that he's always seen in me. He's always telling me, people just like you. But I don't really want everybody to like me. That's not why I speak to people. That's not why I advocate for people. But in reading the story, and she's talking about how she's holding up the earth and how she's holding up the world. And that's the thing. With this new client, one of the things that I talk about that's going into his brand is that he goes off on tangents. I do too, so I understand it. But he goes off on tangents. So we're bringing this into his brand so people know what they're getting, so that they understand that if this man goes off on a tangent, that's his way. Because it's part of the brand, it gets to be real for him. And one of the things that I've always been is I've been real because of maybe how I was brought up based on the abusive things that I've seen. I've always been a realist. I prepared my daughter for the real. When I knew my mother was going to die, I prepared my daughter because I didn't want her to be devastated. And there's all these different things that we try to do as business owners: be cute, be clever, be witty, be smart. But we find it so hard to be real. And to separate this ghetto country grandmother from Phyllis is a really big way of how I keep it real. And it's not the smart as, oh, I'm just keeping it 100. No, I'm not talking about that. Because when you're building a business, there's certain aspects of you that always need to rise to the top. It's like, I don't know if you guys know the old saying, cream always rises. But there's things of you that have to rise to the top so that you can be able to advocate, so that you can be able to influence, so that you can be able to endorse. And it's the weight of the world that we try to carry when we build our businesses. We listen to people who have already made a name for themselves, and we try to be cute and clever, and we're inspired, and we have aspirations and all the greatness, and we want to be empowered. It's a whole lot of shit because we carry the weight of the world. And so instead of getting to that point, my sweetheart, let's understand where your tangents take people. If we can still get you to where you need to be, get to make the money that you want to make, whatever we build, whatever this business becomes, is built on tangents. And that's okay. Most people like, come on, bring it back, rein it in. And I have to do that during a session, maybe. But that still doesn't mean it doesn't get to be part of your brand. Because if you recognize it, you know how to use it to your advantage. So if you, oh Lord, my hair look crazy, y'all. But if you have this thing about you that always seems to, in other people's minds, get in the way, even in your own mind, if that's the realest part of you, how can you incorporate that into how you build your business or how you build your brand? Don't let the weight of the world stop you from being real about your shit. It's yours. And how you build and how you do your thing, sweetie, it's yours. I listen to a plethora of folks that have already made a name for themselves and call it a personal brand. I'm not fighting that fight. I just don't agree with it. But what I do believe and what I do believe about people, it's like, sweetie, you get to do this your way. Granted, they've already made it and you've used them as an example. But what's your real shit? What's the real thing that you want to do? Because personal branding is not personal. I don't care what nobody says. And yes, we still take shit personally, but I promise you, if you realize that it's not personal, the shit you do take personally, you can get it off you a lot quicker. It won't weigh you down. It won't slow you down. It'll be a bump in the road. One of the things that I do in is part of Branding University. I want to know, how long does it take you to reset? And people don't understand that question. If I know that there's something that either triggers me emotionally, physically, or whatever, how long does it take me to reset? And it's not about getting over. It's just about getting up. Get off your ass because you still got shit to do. Wallowing in it and just giving it all the power? No. Give yourself time to do whatever it is you need to do to process through it. But then you need to get up. So if you know how long it takes you to reset, it's like, oh, that usually takes me a couple of days. Do you really want to give it a couple of days? Do you really need a couple of days? Then, sweetie, take the couple of days. Don't let somebody tell you, oh, you need to get over it. There's a whole lot of shit. I am 57 years old that I have not gotten over. But this is not personal. This is business. This is how I make my money. So if I have a client that runs off on tangents, if I have a client that, you know what, he talks a good game. If I have a client that's, you smoke. Sweetie, do we need to bring it to the brand so that it doesn't hinder you, so that it doesn't stop you, so that it doesn't slow you down? That's the real shit people want to see. The whole know, like, and trust thing, sweetie, keep it real. Don't keep it offensive. Don't keep it flagrant. Don't bullshit. Keep it real. What's your real thing in your brand? That's all I'm asking. Deuces.